It was back in 2013 when I had death looming over me. I actually thought this was the end. I was with my cousin Josh and our friend Jake on a ski trip in Mont Tremblant, Canada. In the past, my cousin and I have always been ones to look for an adventure. In the past, we have snuck into a private golf course to collect balls. We have swam out to a private island. We even climbed to the top of a lighthouse and peed off the top. All these explorations are now memories that I would not trade for anything. But this time, we're in for more than just an adventure. We were in a life or death situation. We were lost in the woods with our friend Jake, who we had met 3 days prior. We were towards the top of Mont Tremblant Mountain in Canada. And there was snow up to our hips, and we had no idea what to do. We looked around for any sign of hope, but we saw nothing. I was scared, unknown of my future, and I saw my life flash before my eyes. You may be wondering how we even got to this extreme situation. So we had taken a trail up to the top, and we were trying to figure out a trail we should go on. We had been up and down this mountain a dozen times, and we skied each trail at least 10 times. So with my teenager logic, I decided we might as well try the one trail we haven't done yet. This trail is known for being notoriously difficult, and we don't see many skiers ski it. In worst case, my cousin and I thought we could just switch over since there's slopes all over the mountain. The friend we were with was pretty much up for anything, but he was not the greatest skier. So we arrive at the trail, and we look down at the trail. Then we look back at each other, and we noticed trees all around the narrow, steep incline. The next moment, we all begun slowly skiing down this trail. It seems like it's all going all well for the first minute or so, but 2 minutes into the trail, I hear my friend Jake saying, "I'm going down," as he takes a spill. Because of the steepness of this trail, he continues sliding down head first until he rams a tree with his midsection. I immediately popped my skis off and came to his rescue, yelling, "Jake, Jake, are you okay?" But I heard nothing. So I was beginning to get terrified. I didn't know what to do. So as I approach him, I get a huge sigh of relief as I hear him say, "I'm still alive, Drew." Without any further thought, Josh and I knew we would be dead before we get to the bottom. So we came to the conclusion that we had to switch trails. In order to do so at this point, we had to choose which side of the woods to cut over because we didn't know which side cut over. We didn't think that far in advance. So we took a gamble and guessed that it was the left side. So we scoot over on our butts, over to the left side of the trail, and then we hurl our skis over our shoulder. We take the first step into the wilderness, and sporadically, we all sank down and into our hips in the snow. The snow is white and powdery and untouched. Clearly, no one had been near it. All of us in shock at how deep this snow actually was. Each leg felt as though it weighed 200 pounds. Immediately after the first step, Josh and I looked at each other and smirked, and we knew this was about to be an adventure we could laugh about later. At least, that's what we thought. After wobbling through this tall, thick, dense snow for a solid 10 minutes, I just began to question if we actually were going in the wrong direction. I brought this up with Jake and Josh, but they told me, "Don't be ridiculous. There's slopes all over the mountain." So, not wanting to separate from them, I continued muscling my way through the snow. After another 30 minutes goes by, we finally decide we're all getting nowhere. Arguments broke out, and we had no idea what to do. Sweating in all the layers I was wearing, I began stripping down one by one as I could feel a mini claustrophobic attack coming. Dehydrated, with no water in sight, I felt like a fish out of water. At least, that's what I thought. Josh quickly points out to me that there's water everywhere. Just look around. Feeling like an idiot, I shoveled as much snow as I could into my mouth. After all of us satisfied our immediate needs, we all pulled it together as we looked for hope. But we came up short. We listened for voices, but nothing was heard. All that was left to do at this point was to keep moving. 1 hour went by. Then another hour goes by. And at this point, we had all entered the panic state. All that was left to do was to contact our folks back at the hotel that we were staying at. Although before doing so, we had to develop an elaborate explanation for our troubles. So, a few minutes after a planned execution of this talk, my friend Jake tries to call, although it fails. Then Josh tries to give it a call, but it also fails. So then I check my phone, not expecting to see any service on it, but luckily, I see one bar. Excitement fills my body, and then I give a call a try, but it doesn't work out. So then I'm like, all right, I'll try it one more time. And this time it worked. I got in contact with my dad, and I tried to explain it as well as I could. So I basically told him we were with a novice skier who's not very experienced on this mountain, and we decided it would be safer if we switched trails. And we decided to go off trail into the wilderness in hopes of finding a new one, but we couldn't find one, and we're sort of lost in the wilderness. My dad frantically says he's calling the ski patrol, and they're going to come look for us. At this point, I hang up, and with the ski patrol on my way, I knew I still had to do something if we wanted to live to see another day. I began thinking about the book Into the Wild by John Krakauer, which is about a guy who's in a similar situation, and he ends up dying in the Alaskan wilderness. So death kept crossing my mind. Desperate for a solution, all that we could come up with was retracing our steps. But looking up the trail, it seemed absurd to even think of embarking back up. So all that was visible at the time was a faint indent in the snow, and I suggested we follow this trail before it gets too late. This faint indent was from us, previously walking down. Each step we took, it slid backward slightly due to the icy, steep incline of the slope. All of us had no desire in hiking up this mountain, as we knew it would take quadruple the amount of effort it did to walk down, although we had no other choice. We began our trek and switched off every so often who was leading, as the person in front often had to push away more of the snow than the person in the back. By the time we got to where we started, we noticed a ski patrol all around the top of the trail, with these crazy bright lights beaming all over the trail, although we were towards the middle, so they were nowhere near us. Instead of alerting them, as we were embarrassed to explain ourselves to them, we decided to stealthily scoot down on our butts. We laid these skis down that we were carrying, and we slide down like a sled. Of course, we're going very slowly, as this trail is very difficult. And you can bet, the next day, we had whopping bruises on our butts. By the time we got to the bottom, it was beginning to get dark, and the mountain was beginning to close. We skied into our hotel, which is right on the mountain, and pretended like nothing had happened. We could only pretend until our parents had found us, and they were shocked we still had our lift tickets, as the ski patrol had explicitly told them that they were going to suspend us from the mountain if they had found us. Anyways, why did I share this story with you? This story is a memory. Not just any memory. It's a memory that is special to me. Sharing times like these with friends allows you to strengthen your relationships, and relationships are arguably the most important part of my life. Being able to have a friend to fall back on in times of hardship is something that means the world to me. I would not trade this for anything. This strong of a relationship comes from millions of past memories with this person. Memories are what bring happiness and meaning in our lives. Each and every moment we are living a memory without us even thinking about it. Many who live life with a negative attitude will only be able to remember negative memories. We all have probably heard the phrases, go in with a positive attitude, or make the most of a situation at some point in our lives. This is the formula for creating happiness and positive memories. Life throws you curveballs, and instead of falling down and dreading on something, remind yourself of how everything happens for a reason, and good things can come out of anything with just the right mindset. Memories are what we're constantly thinking about. When we're in the classroom on a cold winter day, many of us are remembering, by looking out the window, what it's like on a summer day, as it gives us something to look forward to. What you think about is often what you wish or wish you had done. And you, and only you, can create those memories. A quote from Dale Carnegie, "It isn't what you have, or who you are, or where you are, or what you're doing that makes you happy or unhappy. It's what you think about." Thank you.